Well, I said some time ago that I wanted to talk about the changelings. So, I'm going to talk about the changelings. And for you all who already know about changelings, could you please give me more feedback about them? Because I have very small amount of knowledge on changelings. So, but I would like to talk about what I do know about changelings. So, those of you all who do not know about changelings can hear a little about the changelings. But anyway, I learned about the changelings when I read the book Poison. And Poison was about this, it was sort of like a fantasy type book, but it's a spiritual type fantasy, sci-fi, you know. But at the same time too, to me, those are still other worlds and other dimensions that are coinciding with our dimension right now as we speak. But anyway, this particular girl named Poison, and I hope I hadn't already talked about this video, but y'all, if I have, y'all just disregard it. But anyway, could y'all read the book Poison? It was a very good book, you know, because it takes me a long time to describe what was going on. But anyway, Poison chose her name out of defiance. So this is a different type of dimension where when you turn 18, you can choose your own name. All females have like flowery names, and the men have like other rough type names. But when you turn 18, you can choose your own name. She chose Poison because her father remarried, and her stepmom was not too crazy about her because she was a wild child. So she chose the name Poison when she turned 18 to be kind of defiant towards her stepmother and to rebel a little bit. So anyway, Poison was trusted to watch the baby that her stepmom and dad had, and they wanted her to kind of keep an eye on him because the fairies would come in the night and they would steal the babies. They would steal the babies and they would exchange it with a changeling. So changelings are big-headed babies that do nothing but eat, and they come from the fairy world, or Satan or the devil would bring these children in to replace the children that were birthed by the moms. So they will swap them out. So y'all please read more about the changelings. Also, the reason why I brought the changelings up is because I know of an incident where someone was impregnated. They were pregnant, had a negative pregnancy test, but had all the movement and everything going on in the stomach. And the baby was swapped out by Satan or the devil or an entity. People have so many different names for the mischievous entities. And it was swapped out and with a changeling. So she never ever gave birth to the child. She was just always like the baby never was birthed. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking I talked to you about this video because it was an African priest that came and talked to us at this particular church in the past. And he dealt a lot with that. They didn't call them changelings, they had other names for them, but you could go to this particular place and they will help you to give birth to the child and bring the child back to the realm. Some women went 10 years, you know, with their babies still there. You can see it physically, but they were not inside, but they gave birth 10 years later, 5 years later, or what have you. And in their particular society, what happens is that a voodoo priest or priestess or a witch doctor would come, and if a lady wanted a baby, they would steal a baby out of another stomach. When I say steal, not like cut them open and get them out, but use metaphysical means or magic to capture that baby from one womb to bring it to the womb of a woman that wants the baby. And so that is sort of kind of like they all intertwine together because the way they do it is sort of in a sorcery type manner. So the other person will have a changeling, so to speak, in our terms for a label, you know, in our terms, because there's so many names for so many different things, and some things don't even have a name, but for, you know, our purposes, she would be swapped out with a changeling, and the lady that wants the baby gets the baby. But if you all have heard of anything like that, I would love to hear your feedback on it, because, I mean, these are a lot of things that happen. And I know a person in particular that can do this particular kind of work. this particular person is one himself. And he said in his particular country, those type children are, because that's where the dreadlocks actually come from in Africa, in his particular country. They are forced to wear, the kids that are the product of changelings or swap babies have to wear dreadlocks on their head. That's the mark of the negativity in their society. But anyway, I would love to hear what you all think about that, because I know of someone in particular that has had that situation. I want to go into depth even more with that. So let's just talk about that in a second, because we're going to check to see how much time we got on the camera. Okay. Okay. Be back in a minute.